We're live. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Actually, I don't know if anyone's in here yet, Althea. Yeah, let me go
It
in here real
doesn't
quick.
matter. I just start talking and people will come as they come. I don't like,
Absolutely, absolutely.
people
But
get
let me
hung
let
up.
me sort of introduce you first.
Okay.
Okay, we have our guest today, guys, is the beautiful Soul Whisperer.
Thank you.
And we have invited her on the channel today because she exudes that beautiful, divine, feminine energy that's coming in so strong now. And when you get a chance, be sure to check out her channel. I sort of grabbed a little blurb from your channel. I'd like to read that a little bit to kind of share what your
Okay.
channel is about, Althea.
Good. You can
Um,
remind me.
Okay, well, on her channel, she shares inspiration, motivation, encouragement, and reminders, wisdom, practices, and supportive guidance to help people get acquainted with their soul and elevate their consciousness and personal vibration. The videos on her channel are only a very small part of her mission. And her mission is to teach, minister, to inspire, motivate, and help others create and or redirect their lives through her work as a shaman, seer, energetic practitioner, tarot oracle reader, in order to enable others to take responsibility for their own lives and also to have a positive impact on the world in general. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Soul Whisperer. Can't
Oh my
wait to.
goodness. Where did you get that? I'm like, who is that? Harpo?
That
Who's
is
this
you,
woman?
my love.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, that is it in a nutshell. But I mean, so succinct. I mean, just better than me trying to do it, out loud because I'm, I have all those labels and things like that, but I don't like to use them so much these days just because everybody thinks they got to have a label now.
Right.
I'm a Reiki master, which I am, but I don't, you seldom hear me say that. I channel, I do all these different things, but I don't really, you know, part of it is I think people have a general desire to do good and to be of service. But what you notice now in these times is that this is a time of real confusion as we are going through change. And so you find that there are people out there who don't have a clear picture of things, but are speaking with authority, and we know about those authorities, right?
Yes, we do.
They're represented speaking for God before, but they're speaking with authority and not necessarily giving, but for an agenda. Maybe so they can amass a following, maybe so they can make money off of the following that they amass, maybe
Right.
have an ego thing and they just want to feel good, and that's empowering to them to gain. And I'm not saying that's a lot of people, but I'm
Mhm.
saying you have to be able to
Be
see,
able to discern
to
what you're looking at.
discern. It's
Yes.
very important. And I can be watching some people sometime or some channels. I heard about this, and I'll be and something, because I really have learned to honor my intuition, honor my spidey senses, if you will. And I can be watching, there could be nothing like apparent in whatever it is that I'm witnessing, like from a physical or something, but something will, tell me, mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, no.
Absolutely.
And it's like, and it may be good for somebody, but it's not, I don't, that's the vibration that I don't need. So, I don't know how much your audience, your subscribers, um, think about or tune into how important it is to have a high vibration, although you remind them of that at the end of every show you have. So, but it's really, really critical now. And it's really critical that it's more than just something that people say. It's actually something that you develop as a practice so that you can, you know, save yourself. Because one of the sort of misleading ideas we have out there today is that somebody outside of ourselves is going to come and save us. If you're in
Absolutely.
religion, it's got to be Jesus in the United States. Okay, because I'm
Mhm.
going to speak for that in general, but whoever that is in the world in those paths, uh, if you're in the sort of new age, then it's the Galactic Federation. They're going to fly on in and grab us up and save us. And I'm telling you, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, as that poem Invictus says. I am the captain, I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. And it means my salvation is in my hands. And how do I get to that salvation? Is that I must honor the God in me. And most people don't know about that. They because we're all learned to think about a God outside of us.
Right.
So, oh God, please help me. I grew
Exactly.
up just like that, like everybody. I said, something wrong with this picture, you know.
Absolutely.
And the ministers and whatnot, there would be books like Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People and things like that. They really didn't give you answers, and it was very unsatisfying, which is how I became a Bible student. I think I told you that, Crystal and Goddess. I think I told you that I never became a JW, but I studied the Bible with them. And the person that was my teacher is one of my best friends. And I wouldn't have done that at all if it wasn't for she, because she was a master teacher. And
Yes.
she knew that at the time, because she's not there anymore either. In
Ah, that's
fact,
right.
she's the
She
one
did
I'm telling
leave.
you. I hope she will come. She said she would be willing to come on your channel
Oh, that would
because
be
I said you
awesome.
have a lot of people, as far as I know, you have a lot of people who are ex-JWs.
Yes,
So in
or
your
studying.
audience,
Yeah,
and
or
I
were
think she would,
studying.
yeah, and she would be a great light. She would be a great light. Oh, my beautiful Essie Grace. Hi. I'm happy you're here.
Hi, Essie. Welcome. Thank you for popping in.
so yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I think for me the point and what I try to do on my own channels, try to say things that help people understand the absolute importance of being your own savior by, rising in consciousness. And there are things that of course you practice and learn how to do so that you can do that. But I don't know, like I say, I know some of what you teach on your channel because I'm here sometimes when you're talking to the Anunnaki about the Anunnaki or certain other things, which I find, interesting. Part of that other aspects that of interest to me because I have such a grand, you know, uh, a sort of voracious appetite for knowledge and for
Yes.
learning and for trying to understand why and how the world works. And that's happened to me since I was a child.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. And for me, it's the truth, whatever that truth is. And I just
yeah,
know inherently within myself that what we've been taught our whole lives is not it.
it's not it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think, when I hear some of these people today, when I listen to them, especially some of the very Christian people, whatever that particular, Christian path is, those who are sincere, they have the right idea in the sense of understanding there is a divine,
Hmm.
but they seek for that divine outside of themselves, which is for me the block. Like my sister is very Christian, you know, very much a strong believer in whatever her religion has taught, her path has taught her. And I never try and get in between anybody and their connection to the connector, because you get where you're supposed to be at some point in time. If you're supposed to wake up, you wake up. or you do that. I mean, for years, that's how I ended up studying with Jehovah's Witness. I just wasn't satisfied with the answers that people were telling me about God. It's like,
Okay.
come on now. And then my friend I'm like, well, what is this Jehovah Witness stuff?
Exactly.
And, she was, like I said, a really great teacher. And she wasn't, a traditional kind of person. She'll tell you, she loved Jehovah as she understood him at the time, but she didn't really like, the brothers, the friends, whoever all those people were.
Uh-huh.
Um, she just, it was something that connected her at first to the concept of the divine because she didn't really have that before. But I'll let her tell her own story. um, I just want to encourage people to do whatever they can do to raise their vibration, elevate their consciousness, vibe high, because really and truly, in my way of thinking, that's going to be the only thing when the days get a little bit more challenging, and they will this year.
I think so
That
too.
is going to be the medicine that you have to ride through the storm. You know, that expression that we have about being the eye in the storm. There's
Uh-huh.
no movement in the eye. If you're in the eye of the storm, it's not moving. Everything else around is going like this, woo, but
Yes.
in the eye, it's perfect stillness. And that's what we have to learn how to do in order to, be able to get through maybe some of the challenges that will be presented this year. And there will be some, we'll get some blessings. I feel better than 2020 through 21 and 22, but we'll get more blessings this year, but we're also going to get some serious challenges. There'll be some serious wake up calls for people who have been just following the status quo, who have just been, marching to the beat of, whatever they've been told to do. And because they're going to be more serious revelations of the dirty deeds done in the dark,
Yep.
behind the scenes that we have not in general been aware of. So that's part of it. Part of it is what is going to happen with the money this year. We're going to have serious money challenges this year. And if people aren't, in some way we look at the government, because they're all demons to me. But we look at the government as we look at God. We look at them and we expect them to take care of us. So when they come out and say, we got something that's out there trying to kill you, take this, then we just say, okay, yes, daddy, yes, we will. And we run down to get the juke joint jab or the cornholio poke, whatever you want to call it, and do what we're told, because there's so much I could just go under with that, just about, because government becomes the authority and we're always looking for somebody to tell us what to do, because those are
Absolutely.
the people that are going to save us. And the lesson for this time is that we are our own saviors, and so we
Bingo.
better get to getting on that. So I feel like I've been just talking.
Oh,
So,
and that's why you're here, because we want to hear what you have to say. You have such a broad knowledge of just about everything in what we're researching right now. And that's
mm,
definitely why we wanted you on. Now, as far as I've been feeling a lot of, I've been talking a lot about the energy, the CMEs coming from the energy from the sun, plus the Schumann resonance is just kind of going off the chain, and it's going to affect us physically, not only spiritually and all of that, but it affects us physically as well. Do you have any tips or anything of what could help us through this?
Now, my friend Lady Virgo knows all about. I look at that chart and I see it, but it doesn't say, it's kind of like astrology to me. I know basic things about astrology, but
Hmm.
I'm not gifted with that. I can say, oh, you're a Cancer, or I know something about that. And you got a
Hmm.
moon here and a sun. I know about that, but that's as much as I got. With the Schumann resonance, it's like that. I see that chart. I see that, oh, we got more white in here. That means something's happening, but it doesn't click in for me like other
Okay.
things do. And Lady Virgo, Divine Destiny 13 is her channel. is very like, I don't know, skilled and reading it, understanding it, and she's impacted a lot by it. For me, whatever's going on with this flares and all this, I'm not like tuned in like that. I'll just feel, because I'm very kinesthetic, so I'll just feel like, huh, it feels very it feels very quiet. What's going on? Something is about to happen. I
Yes.
kind of tune in like that, or oh, I feel the energy is about to rev up. That's how it works for me. And it doesn't necessarily impact me physically for
Hmm.
whatever reason. People are being like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm having these headaches and my back is, they're having all kind of like issues. And I'm not really getting those other than
Really?
aging issues.
Uh-huh. Well, I have aging issues too, but what I'm experiencing physically is, I think, a bit more than my regular old age aches and pains. If this
Well, see,
this is
I'm
some
not
extra
getting that,
stuff
or at
that
least.
I'm very cognizant something different is happening, and it's definitely affecting me physically.
So, what does that feel like for you besides whatever physical things are going on, like my bones are creaking more than usual, whatever it is? What is that feeling like to you as you experience it?
Just aches and pains that I normally don't have in areas that I normally don't have them in. But of course my knees hurt because I got arthritis in my knees, and my hips might hurt a little bit.
Me
But I'm
too.
having just like gastric issues, to where there's like
Mm.
bloating and abdominal pain with no apparent reason why. This is happening, to me. And then of course I'm not one that has headaches, but I would say in the last, for sure, the last 3 weeks, off and on, I've been getting intense headaches.
Yeah, I would, just bring my friend which I don't know if she would, but I mean, just bring her on to talk all about the Schumann resonance and what you can do about it.
Hmm.
But are you talking about, and Essie saying, can you tell me briefly what that is? Are you talking about the Schumann resonance, Essie? Because it's a measurement system of the Earth's magnetic resonance, as I understand it. Like I say, I just look at the chart and it just like does not, we don't like, it's like, okay, you know. But for
Hmm.
you, I
What I
would
what I've
say, and for
researched is
anybody,
okay, Schumann resonance. I'm having stomach upsets too. My understanding, as far as the Schumann resonance is concerned, the it's what it was described to me is like the heartbeat of the earth. It's mama's
yes,
heartbeat, and it's that
it,
432 hertz.
and it has something to do with the magnetosphere, but I can't
Yes.
tell you much about that. Like I say, I'm not going to speak, I can say enough to know I know what that is, but I can't
Hmm.
wax poetic on it. But what I can speak about in terms of symptoms you're having or anyone else is having, it's like, in my understanding, it's your body, you know, being accustomed to the charges and the energies that are coming out there, because you have to be able to hold more light. Okay.
Exactly.
And so it's kind of like if you haven't exercised in a long time, then you go out and you lift some weights. The next day you're like, oh my God,
You're
I'm
sore.
so sore. I'm so stiff. That's the best analogy that I can give about it. I can't say with any kind of authority, but my intuition says to me, your body is kind of like when you're like, you wake up in the morning, you stretch, you're trying to like get your body, unkinked
Uh-huh.
and ready for the
Unkinked
day.
and
I
flowing.
think I feel like those symptoms that many of you guys are having are like that. Like your body is like, okay, you're ascending. So leveling up means you are not, you know, in the capacity that you need to be. Now, that's me. That's just my intuitive hit on it. There are people who can probably speak with a lot more wisdom about
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
the little bit that I have picked up on is, as these energies are coming in, it's supposed to have something to do with unlocking our junk DNA. And if we were to be bombarded with all of this energy, all of this downloads, whatever you want to call it, we are physically unable to tolerate all of that at one time. So we're
exactly.
getting increments of it.
exactly.
We're getting
And I would
increments of it.
agree
And
with that.
as
I
we get
think
these
that,
increments, we feel it. We
yeah.
feel it. Yeah. And I guess
I,
some of us are more sensitive to it than others.
yeah, I think so. And while I'm sensitive to things, it's like I have a really like sturdy body. That's how I've always felt. Like maybe it's because I have 3 planets in Taurus, so I'm really grounded. I don't know what it is, but I think that, body things, I'm not as like sensitive to those. I might be sensitive to energy. I might be sensitive to, vibrations of things, but my body itself is not especially sensitive. I'm not easily sick and things like that.
Hmm.
Of course, if you have bad habits, that will make you sick, you
Yeah.
know. But but yeah. So sorry I don't have more information about the Schumann resonance
Oh, well,
because that's
that's
not.
okay. That just means we have to do our own research and study more, and all
Yeah.
of us putting our little pieces together.
If you're
And
on
you mentioned
Telegram, I'm on Telegram. That's a great messenger app. And if you get on Telegram, there's a group. I'm in the group. I very rarely, I don't, I'm in a lot of groups, but I don't necessarily go there and read them every day. But there is a group that I'm in called Schumann Resonance because
really.
I was gonna try and learn about it. But and my friend Lady Virgo has her own Telegram group, and she posts on Schumann, she posts on it every single day. I see that little
Okay.
chart, that little blue
Okay. So
thing with the.
she would be a great resource then for us.
She would be a great resource because
And what
she
was
knows
it's
a lot
Lady
about it.
Virgo? You said
Lady Virgo. Her channel on YouTube is Divine Destiny 13.
Divine
Okay, so
Destiny
she's like
13.
me. She pulls cards, but she's more astrology uh oriented. So she knows astrology and then she pulls oracle cards. So she does it for the moons and she does it for, I don't know, whatever major astrological things are happening, or just to take the temperature, if you will, of the energy in a
Hmm.
particular moment. And she'll speak on, in fact, one of her recent videos, she's talking about the Schumann resonance.
Okay.
So, but
Well, we'll
like I
definitely
say, for
have to
me, it's
check her
like
out.
white noise. Nothing is
Right.
really getting in.
Right. Well, with today's climate, with all these distractions, is what I call it.
Hmm.
Distractions all around. Watch out for this. Watch out for that. And I know it's all to keep us in that lower vibration, sad and you know um, frightened and confused. Keeping us in that lower vibration.
Hmm.
What specifically? What do we need to focus on right now, as far
Well,
as these?
because you're purposefully being distracted. So we all have grown up to believe that everything that happens on the outside of us is reality. First big problem and lie. It's a material experience that we're having. However, and we all agree it's reality. Oh, so that's why you get into things like, oh, this is a pen, because we've all said it. This is a writing implement and this is a pen, and we agree on that and we can see it. Now, if I said this is a pen and I'm looking at something and you can't see it, we say, oh, she's just got an imagination, or she's got
Okay.
this. We wouldn't privilege anything outside of material reality. So you're always going to think that what's going on out there until you deliberately make a decision not to do this. So when you say, how do we avoid the distractions? You've got to decide you're not going to be distracted. Okay. And then you have to turn your attention into cultivating your own inner, what I call your relationship with your inner divine, which is, Christians would say Christ in you, your hope of glory. It is that aspect of yourself, your higher self, if you will. Some people might say the universe, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter to me. But it's that part of your divine wisdom outside of this reality that has some locality within you. And that when you connect to that, that's where your truth is. That's where your peace is. That's where your love is. That's where abundance is. And that's where your joy is. But There's so many things between here and there. That's why I say first you have to consciously decide you're going to do that, because that's the freedom of being a spiritual being. You have a choice, you
I
know.
love that.
And people might say, but we can't. They said we have to go get this jibba jabba juke joint jab double Big Mac corn holio poke. And some of us
Yep.
said, I'm not doing that. I
Yeah.
don't care what they said. Now, why most people don't do that, or I mean, people go along with it because they think they're not being lied to, and they think all of that. But why some people think they'll get in trouble because daddy, government, God, whatever, outside of you,
Right.
God, that is, will punish them if they don't do this. If you don't go to church on Sundays, you're going to hell. If you
Right.
don't get the shot, you're an anti injector and you're bad news. You're trying
Yeah.
to make everybody sick and kill everybody. So it's that whole punishment outside
Yes.
of you world. So you have to decide. So when I decided, God is in me, moving through me, as me. God is experiencing itself as me in this experience of materiality. Then who are these people? And what
Thank
is it
you.
they're telling me that I have to do? No, we used to have a saying when I was a kid. It was, all I got to do is stay black and die. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember.
Ours was a little bit different than that, but
In other words, I don't have to do anything.
uh-huh.
I don't have to do anything. This is not going to change. And one day I am going to die. It's going to happen to all of us.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yes, our avatars have an expiration date.
Yeah, they do. And I don't
Yeah.
worry about that because, it's like I have an acquaintance now from, she's Mexican, and she used to say, and I don't like flying in an airplane. I will do it, but it's not my joy. And
Yeah.
when way many years ago, I said to her, Papusa, aren't you afraid you flying around all the time? She said, baby, I will not die 1 second before my time. And I was like, whoa, what a perspective.
I like
Because that's
that.
true, you know? So anyway,
I like
I
that.
don't know where I was going,
Yeah.
where I was
I,
going
I
with
like
that.
that thought though. Again, when I started my journey, I was scared to death of dying. Scared to death of dying
You're made
because
to
I
be
didn't
scared.
understand what it was. It was just what I was indoctrinated to believe. But
Right.
once I became aware and truly it had that inner standing of who and what I was, then that fear of death is gone. Now I
Yeah.
have no fear of death at all. I just don't want that crap to hurt.
Right. I mean, I'd like, I have my preferences about how I'd like to exit stage left, but
Yes.
okay. I tell a story. I don't know if this is one. I have a story that I submitted to a series. And this story was about being on the road in a car with my son when he was about maybe 15, 16, something like that. So quite a few years ago. And we were driving along in Illinois on the road, and almost like 1 mile from the exit that I was going to take to go to get to home. We had been coming from, I don't know if we're coming from Detroit, my hometown, or if we'd be coming from Iowa, where I was going to school. But I was now living in Galesburg, Illinois. hmm But anyway, we were driving along, and there was a lot of trucks on the road, and they were driving really fast, and they were in the left lane where all the fast people are. I was in the right lane. Now, there wasn't any like ice on the road or snow or anything like that. But I decided, the trucks were barreling down the highway. And I
Mm-hmm.
decided I'm going to speed up because I really don't want them to get in front of me because I'm almost at my exit. I just like to drive off without being slowed down. Somehow, I've forgotten why I'm telling you this, but somehow the truck that was passing, he started speeding up. I was speeding up and he started speeding his speed up. And the back of his truck was like fishtailing. You know how they sort of kind
Uh-huh.
of, and his truck, the fishtail, hit our car, spun me around. And I remember saying, we're going to die. Just like that, in that tone of voice. because it was like, I mean, first I was like, you know, how they say when you, if you learn to drive in snow, skid in the direction, turn your wheel in
Right.
the
You
direction.
turn
So I
into
was
the you
handling
turn
that.
into the
And
skid.
then all of a sudden another truck came and we got hit again. And I
Oh,
remember in that moment, it was just a clear, cool, calm, easy thought. We're going to die. And then in about 20 seconds, I said, God, save us. And the next thing you know, we spun around into, now you know how there's a median
yeah.
that you have traffic going east and then you have traffic going west. And
Hmm.
there's something in the middle of the road between the two. We dropped down into the median. We should, by all rights, have flipped over, spun over, and be dead. But we didn't. Something, my son told me later, Mom, something was holding the car down. Something held it. And this all happened so fast. It's longer for me to tell it than it happened. We spun around, we went in the ditch, and we came out on the other side, going the other way without stopping, without a beat. And in that moment when we dropped in the ditch, the car was like rocking to flip over, but something held it steady as even it was still moving. I can't
Wow.
even explain the experience if it wasn't for my son being there. And then I was in
Wow.
shock. So it took me, you know, and I was just driving the other way suddenly. Got off at the first exit. And
Wow.
so
That all happened just.
just like that, just like
Wow.
that. And so for me it's like the idea of having a consciousness that we're going to die, but it wasn't a fearful consciousness, you know, it was just a, huh, okay, well, God, save us please, you know. And then it was like, okay, your wish is my command. Boom, you know.
Wow.
So that was one
Wow.
experience. I've had
That's
a lot of interesting spiritual, I call them spiritual experiences, because I think the angels were, you know, the angels were holding us.
hmm
So um, by then I was in shock. Son told me. So anyway,
your eyes
I'm
probably
just
just kind
saying
of
I have no
glossed
fear of
over.
death, but this is death culture. And we are designed to be afraid, be very afraid. And if
Hmm.
you're not afraid, something's wrong with you. And see, then and the whole time of the, what I call the entity, you call it, people call it COVID, but the whole time that we were going through that, I'm like, where is people? They say they believe in God. Where is that in this?
Right.
I don't get it. So this thing has more power over you than God, than your creator,
Yes.
your, you know, I just didn't get it. And so for me, once I already had, you know, dismissed organized religion, dismissed, you know, the institutions, the government, the educational system, the religious institutions, the political institutions, I had divorced myself from all of that. So for me, it was just me and me, or me and thee, as I like to say, even though this is just a symbol, because
Right.
the it's not up there. But I like to do that because people think it's up there, but it's in here.
It's right here.
So, or
That
rather,
spark of
we're
divinity
in
is
it,
within us all.
actually. Truth be told, we're in it. Now, that's a whole nother mind boggling understanding. You know,
Now say that
you
again.
are
Say that
in
again.
God,
We're in
God is not
it.
really in you.
We're in it.
We're in it. I
Oh,
like
you gonna
what
we're gonna have to talk about this another time.
what Eric
Wow.
Butterworth said. I loved his definition of it. He said, God is in you like the ocean is in a wave. That has been the most profound thing for me personally that I have embraced and gripped. But we are cells in the body of God. So I'm a cell, you're a cell, just like we have cells within our bodies, right? We
Hmm.
are a cell in the body of God. So that means we're in God. Okay. So
Got it.
anyway, there's just, I've been so many places
Places.
in my
Absolutely.
life and
Absolutely.
time, many
Yeah. Well, thank you for
paths, many
sharing that.
roads.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, when I had my last little scare, like I said before, I was the one that was always taking my blood pressure, and I felt any little twinge, a little headache. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna have a stroke. or something. But I want to say 2 years ago is when I had a little accident. I had a medical emergency while I was driving. I felt lightheaded, and I said I
Hmm.
need to pull over before I kill myself. So the last thing I remember was pulling over on the side of the road, and my foot was on the brake, and I remember putting the car. I was moving the car into park, and that's the last thing I remember. And I woke up in a ravine with two
Wow.
trees holding me up like this, and there was a
Wow.
creek of water just below me.
Oh,
And when I first opened my eyes, I opened my eyes and I looked around and I'm looked down and I see where I am. And I'm like, wow, I guess I'm not dead. But if I am dead, it didn't hurt at all. I hope that's the way it's going to be.
and maybe that's a done deal now.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what made the impression on me. I was like, man, I hope this is the way it is when I really do ascend. I just kind of it's over. And I
If
just
we
walk
only
on to the
really
next thing.
knew the
Yeah.
power of our imagination, that's why I always think I'm old school with the teachers that I have. The only current teacher that I really say is my teacher now is Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith from Agape, the Agape, I say church, I don't know what you call it. He's online, he's on YouTube. Brilliant man. But
Really?
he's under the tradition I'm under, which is called New Thought. So I follow the science of mind. Anything that tells you the power of your life, the power of God coming through you is mind energy. And if you are not in control of your mind, so when you said, oh, so my worst thing is like, oh my God, the plane is going to crash the moment. For me, it's not the crash, it's the knowing I'm going to die all the way down, in that amount of time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, um, your mind is the thing that, oh, there's C Love. I thought she was going to be on with us.
Yeah,
Uh,
she might pop in.
she's there. She's here.
Oh, hey, Daly,
Yeah,
come
she's
on
here.
in.
Beautiful. Um, so I don't know what I was going to say about that, but I was going to say the mind, with the mind, you've got to. So when you go back to that question, is how do we stop being distracted out there? Number one, you make a decision. That's a choice. That's the power of your thought, the power of your word, and your ability to call a thing to you, call a thing into manifestation, call a thing, you know, and you have to do that. That's your choice. You don't look around and say, what's Big Mama doing? Okay, what's the baby's doing over there? No, it's about you. It's kind of like the analogy of the airlines when you're on a plane and they tell you, if we get into turbulence and those masks drop down, put the mask on yourself first. I don't
Yeah.
care if your husband is an invalid or you have a baby, put the mask on yourself first. That's the same thing with your mind, the way you move through the world. You can't be a reflection for anybody if you're raggedy in your mind, in your thoughts. If you aren't, doing the very work you're preaching. And that's why I said sometimes I'm watching people, they look perfect, but something says, mm-mm,
Yeah.
because it's more than just presenting a face to the world. It's about actually doing your path, walking your path, being who you say you are by
Being
actually
authentic.
living
Yes.
that. Yeah. So anyway,
Absolutely.
I'm
Now, if
just
you guys have
babbling
any
on. So,
questions, if you guys have any questions directly for the Soul Whisperer, please pop those in the chat, and feel free to pop in on the channel as well. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I'm trying to go back here through the chat. Sacagawea is with us this morning. Good morning,
I love
Sacagawea.
that name. I've heard you say that when I've been in watching your videos. I'll hear you say Sacagawea. I've always loved that name. I love that name.
I love
Yeah.
that too. Let's see. Let's see. Essie says, as I learn about these things, it makes sense. My Pisces feels everything. It's always good to
Mm.
understand what's happening so I know how to move.
Yeah, Pisces is deep. That's a deep. I mean, we're all deep in our own beautiful ways, but I
Hmm.
mean, those are the, like I'm an Aries. We think we're all that in a bucket of chips in the sense that we're
Two
so,
bags of chips.
but we're the babies. We're the babies of the zodiac. Pisces
Wow.
are the elders. So they
Really?
have everything. They have all the signs contained of wisdom contained within them as a Pisces. And they move through the world. That's why they're the most mystical sign and they're the deepest sign. But that's why they they have trouble sometimes maintaining balance. Because when you are walking between worlds, this one and the other one, or other ones, you got to learn that balance. I know a lot of Pisceans. I love Pisces people.
Awesome.
Glad in this life, although Vedically I'm a Pisces, but in Western astrology, I'm an Aries. So
Okay. I need to really check mine out too because um I'm supposed to be a Cancer. Um
that's
and
another one. That's another one because cancers are, so fiercely high
emotional.
emotion. That's where the sign is in its glory. I have a Cancer moon. So I resonate because I'm extremely maternal. I'm extremely emotional. And I had to learn where people were air people, Libras, Aquarians, who's the other one? Not Virgo. Libra, Aquarius, and Geminis, I got that too, are in their head. The water signs are in their fields, and
Ah,
so I had to learn to regulate. Like some people have to get their thoughts in check. I had to learn how to regulate my feelings because I'd be all over the place.
yeah.
One leader told me a long time ago, she said, you need to learn that you have emotions. You're not your emotions. Because I'd be like, I can't control it. Oh God, I feel, how do I
Yeah.
do it? But I feel it. And that was just the whole thing. I feel it.
Yeah.
That was a long lesson and learned for me because I thought everything of so Cancer, saying all that to say, I know you're deeply emotional, deeply feeling,
Hmm.
and really rooted to home space. Why it doesn't surprise me you want to create this situation on your land that you
Yeah.
have to bring community. I mean, I think that's, to quote Cherry, fucking fabulous. I usually don't say the F word, but did it this time for emphasis.
Yeah.
I think that's so fabulous. And I think that's part of that yearning for family,
Yes.
you know. Now, that's just my take on it. Like I say, I don't have a natural thing with astrology. I know the basics, you know.
Yeah. Well, you
That's
just you just nailed me for sure,
because I
without
have
a
that
doubt.
very prominent in my chart.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. I am Nancy's here. Hello, Nancy. Good to see you.
Hi,
And
Nancy.
Nancy Essie says that she's been getting many downloads.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah. Hearing by Hearing is with us this morning.
By
Uh,
hearing and hearing by. Oh, what an interesting name. By hearing and hearing by.
by hearing and hearing by. Huh. Okay.
I like that. I'm not. It's kind of almost like you think you know what it means, but then it's like take two. It's like wait,
What
what
does
does
that
that mean?
mean? Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Essie says that we've been taught that death is something that needs to be cured and fixed. My great grandmother used to say, in order to live this life, we have to go that way.
say that again. In order,
She says, in order to live this life, we have to go that way. Let's read it again. It says,
the
we've
way.
been taught that death is something that needs to be cured or fixed. My great grandmother used to say, in order to live this life, we have to go that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's profound.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. Thanks,
Nobody gets
Essie.
out alive, you know. And
Exactly.
yet,
No matter
that's the
how much
biggest
you
thing.
try.
What I learned when I was in school, we studied other cultures and stuff, and learned some of the like tribal cultures and stuff where they have a whole different take on death and dying. Not that them people don't feel sad because somebody's lost, but they look at that as a let's celebrate what they were here, what their life was about. Let's help them move on to wherever the next world is for them. Let's do that. And it's like, you know, we have to be so dour about it. We got to wear black. Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
well, it's
serious. Oh my
sad,
God,
when it
weeping
should
most
be.
days. And I'm a son of Shango in the Ifa tradition. I say son because supposedly women are even seen as sons. That's how macho Shango is. But but Shango's the myth that goes with him is that like he's scared to be around like don't bring no dead body. Don't bring no dead bodies around because it's like and it's like true. I mean, I can't even see a dead little animal on the street or something. Ah, terrified.
Really.
But not scared of death itself for me, you know.
Hmm.
So I think that's it. Part of it is reshaping your understanding and your mind and your ideas by looking at what it is you that comes out your mouth, what you catch yourself thinking,
Hmm.
and understanding what you believe in that process. Because, you know, we automatically believe a lot of things just because mama said so, or daddy said so, or the teacher said it, or the priest said it, or whoever said it. And we accepted that. But is that really so? And until you reach that place when you make a decision to do something different, then everything, and when you make that decision, everything begins to shift and change. I'm not saying it will be, you know, smooth in that way because you'll be, you know, meeting your resistance and, you know, trying to change your beliefs or your ideas or, you know, your understanding. You'll change that and there'll be resistance to it. But just keep going, just keep doing it. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, hearing by hearing reminds us that the kingdom of heaven is within. Absolutely.
absolutely. Absolutely. I call it your inner divine. That's, you know, when I'm doing my readings and things, that's what I say. That's your job. Your job is to cultivate the relationship really with the God in you.
I love
So,
that. I
mhm,
love that.
because that's
Uh,
what's going to rescue you or save you, if you will. Nothing else. You
and
know, you might.
go ahead.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you might like I might be walking down the street and you might save me by like I'm about to cross the street and I'm not looking and a car's coming and you pull me back. Yeah, technically like that, but no big, you know, like I say, no galactic, you know, group is gonna descend from the heavens and save humanity. No particular political parties, no matter what they say, are going to save it. They don't give a good, you know what, about you, I, or anybody else. That's a whole
Absolutely.
nother subject. But Jesus is not going to save you in the way people
Nope.
think. He's coming on a cloud. No, 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 he's not.
Nope. Nope.
So, you know, that's just all the indoctrination that we have. And we have to really begin to understand the truth. I was thinking I might want to try to do some kind of a study on the Kybalion because I think that that is an amazing treasure trove of spiritual laws that everybody should know. You know, the seven spiritual laws by Tahuti. Thoth is another name.
Hmm.
Hermes is another name. You look it up. You mentioned Billy Carson or somebody did, and he talks about the Emerald Tablets. The Emerald Tablets contain those seven spiritual laws, and the first one is all is mind. So that's
Yeah.
the basis of everything. You know, God is the big thinker and you are a thought in its mind. You know, but anyway, I'm
Wow.
getting off track here.
No,
But
I like that. I like that analogy. It makes sense.
mhm.
Yeah. Hearing by hearing says I'm resonating so much with this Althea Grace.
Well, I'm glad to know that because my it's my hope and desire that whatever comes out of my mouth is, you know, is a gift, is a an expression of divine love, you know, is an expression of the light in me for the purpose of not creating anything but more love. And that means understanding, that means peace, that means joy, and not all of the other, you know, hullabaloo that's
Right.
out there. You know, that's not my intention. My intention is to see, I want everybody to be happy. I
Yes.
want everybody to be feel loved. I mean, truly in my heart of hearts, I want the best for everyone. Even the idiots that run things around,
Yes.
they should have the best too, but they're just a long way off from realizing it. They're so absorbed in their darkness and their ego and all of that. They're so low vibrating on that scale. It'll take them a while. I want the best for them, but they can stay over there. You can stay over there. I don't wish them any ill. I just wish they get
Mhm.
off my neck
I
and
love
your
you
neck.
from arm's distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We got a
because you don't
question.
have to, you love because it's not a like, it's not a romantic thing. It's not a like, well, I love you because you're my mom or my best friend, or you're my man or woman or whatever. I don't love you for that, because that's a different kind of love. They talk about the kinds of love: agape love, filial love, erotic love. You know, that agape love is unconditional love. You love something because it is the way God loved you into existence, just because, not because he knew your personality. Oh, I really love Althea and what she's, no, no, no. No, 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 no. It wasn't like that.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, I can go off in any direction because I have Gemini rising. So I'm very much in my head that way.
Hmm.
Like I say, I got all the elements deep in me. I'm balanced that way. My one
That's
of my
awesome.
besties is a triple Libra. So she's really in her head all the time. But anyway.
Mm. Well, we have a question. So let's see. Sea Love wants to know, what do you do for energy protection? She had an incident last night. So what do you
Ooh,
do for energy
what
protection?
happened?
I don't know if she
Well,
wants to share. Do you want to share that with us, Sea Love?
um, let me say this. One of the first things I learned from my teacher who initiated me into shamanism is the importance of what I call spiritual hygiene. You cannot live in this 3D reality, probably any reality, without doing just basic things to take care of yourself. It's just like, when you were a little kid and it was winter, and if you were like me in Michigan, you can't go out the house without your gloves, your boots, and your hat, because your mother said you catch your death of cold if you go out without those things. It's
Hmm.
like that. It's like you get up in the morning and brush your teeth or take a shower or whatever it is you do. Your spiritual hygiene is as important as that. So that's the first thing. You build in a practice of something that helps you to know that, first of all, you're always safe, divinely guided, directed, and protected in this world, unless you give credence to the thoughts that there is something that is going to get you and make you afraid. Now, that's not to say you don't do these things. So, one of the most important things to do, like I was telling my friend a couple days ago, as soon as you wake up and say, thank you, oh, thank you, I'm here again, thank you. Next thing, aura up before you even step out of your bed, so that your aura, which is your invisible shield of energy and light and your protection spiritually, is strong, shimmering, shining white light around you. And it should go like, if you extend your arms to either side of your body, that's how it's long it is, and that across the same is up above your head, so you see it as like an egg or an oval around your body of clear white shining light. That's the first thing you need to do when you wake up. The next thing is drop a grounding cord from your root chakra, okay, which is at the base of your spine, into the earth, down, 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 and start running the energy of the earth up through the bottoms of your feet, up through your legs, up through your thighs, to maybe, around your navel, and then let that energy go back. Now, you're doing this in your imagination,
So can
okay?
you
Because
repeat it one more time for
sure,
the people in the chat too, please?
sure, I'm
Because
probably talking very fast.
and that's fine. That's fine.
So I was just trying to give something basic you could do as far as is to know that you're protected. Because when you start cultivating that relationship within in a big way, stop thinking of God out there, as we all learn, God the Father, right? Let's forget the mother was there somewhere, but okay. And look at it inside, then you know that you are um, like I said, you're responsible for everything. So you make sure that your aura, which is the energetic egg of light around your body, is invisible. Some people can see it. I don't see mine, but I know where it is. Like now I can feel where it is because you just begin to tune into it. But
Okay.
it's approximately, if you hold your arms out, this is how wide it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see it about, you know, a similar distance above your head and below your feet. Okay. That is surrounding you. And you never, ever, 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 ever allow anyone to come inside that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have your mother or your some people that you know really love you, if you ever need to talk to them on the spiritual level, you bring them up in a bubble of light of their own. You never bring them inside of your sphere. Okay. So the first thing you do when you get up is I say aura up. That just means checking in, everything okay, we all surrounded and clear and everything. Because when you go out into the world, and you have to do this every day, you can't just say, okay, I did it this week. Because if you have ever seen pictures of what people's auras look like, they can be distended. Instead of the oval, they could be like skewed sideways. They could be like half on the body because of our interactions with others in the world. And for
So, or
whatever,
so aura up, because I've heard other people say like you put a bubble type wrap. I guess everybody does it differently, right? They
right,
do
I'm going to
bubbles,
just,
they do wraps, they do all of this. So,
whatever.
does it mean whatever you feel comfortable with? Like, um, uh, I just need to know, I guess me coming in from not having any practices whatsoever, right? Like as a Jehovah's Witness, we didn't do any of that stuff,
I
right?
know. I know.
No.
So it's like we really need to be aware, because I'm gonna tell you what happened. I thought I was practicing all of that, which I have been. And, with all this Schumann resonance and all this energies coming in and all this stuff that you're feeling in your body, it's like you're going with that, you're just going with the flow. You're going with, I'm being upgraded. Oh, mother's doing, but I just saw where we are now in the rapture time, where the separation is going on between the wheat and the tare, of course, and that they are really on attack out here now. These demons,
Hmm.
these low level energies, all
Low
of this
grade.
stuff, they're
Mm.
out here, right?
Yep. Yep.
And
They've
so
always been out there, but they're out here on big,
they're
big time now. Yeah.
exactly. And so what's happening is, now that the chosen have been activated and are being activated, is that a reason why? Well, so my question is, how do you know what's what? Because I had to literally,
Mhm.
I had to pray. I mean, I knew the energy is very dense and very dark, very heavy. And I mean, it took all night. I mean, my daughter, she knew
Wow.
something was wrong. And
Oh,
I said,
wow.
and I prayed, I prayed that and spoke that energy away. I mean, to a point where I had to say that I know who I am. You know what I mean? I'm powerful,
Beautiful.
and I had to really just speak who I am, you know,
Yeah.
and it finally just got out of it, left me or whatever. But it was, I had to also, I was playing this very high frequency meditation type music. I was playing that, and that was
Hmm.
like on 800 and something, and I was just doing that, and I could feel it. And every time I would, speak my power, it would just like,
Ooh.
and
Oh,
then,
wow. Wow. That's interesting. But
yeah.
yeah, even if you're an XJW, And and there are schisms there because you obviously left for a reason. It was something that wasn't working for you or fitting for you. But that isn't to say, I think I saw Essie put a comment up there about the Bible having Jim. The Bible itself, and if you listen to Priestess Aset Ra'am, and she'll tell you we wrote the Bible, but that's a whole nother story. That's really a whole nother story. But there are beautiful things that you can say. And when you said, I spoke myself, or I spoke
my power,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And yeah, because even, yeah, I'm just curious. How many people have these types of experiences, or what happens and why?
A lot of people have them. Sometimes it happens because for some people, they're habits. Like if you're a person that, I'm not saying you should never have a little wine for your stomach's sake. Isn't that in Timothy? But sometimes if you have addictions, you create loose fibers, if you will, in your aura.
Yeah.
And those energies permeate because they're not substance like we are. This is substance. And they can just easily, so you'll see people. So I'll look at people sometime and I go, she got a demon. Something's with her. I mean, and it's not like I'm seeing like some ghoul or something. I can feel the energy. I was telling Crystal and Goddess earlier, I'm very kinesthetic. So I get all my information through my feelings.
Yes.
Or through that, more than like they know. I'm like, okay, if there are whoever is up there, the galactic, whoever you guys are, I'm with you, but I don't want no visuals. It's kind of like I can tell and feel when I got energy around. And like you say, I would do just what you did. But I want to say one thing on a side note, because I saw my friend Lady Virgos here. That's the person who knows all about the Schumann resonance, Crystal and Goddess. And if you want to get somebody who can talk to you about it, the symptoms, what to do about it, how to read that blue thing that looks just like nothing to me when I look at it, ask my friend Dawn. She's Divine Destiny 13, because she can tell you a whole lot about it. Plus, she's an astrologer.
Divine Destiny 13.
That's right. That's her channel on YouTube. She's an astrologer, and she also pulls oracle cards and gives readings. But she does know a lot about the Schumann resonance. And Lady Virgo, they were asking me, and I don't know. I'm ignorant on that subject. I just basically know the basics. I don't even know how to read it. People are looking at it and going, it was really something today. And I'm like, it still looks like the same thing to me. I can't tell.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, girl. Let me tell you. So it was a beautiful thing. I feel great. I'm so right now blissed. I'm so blissed. And I feel even more, energetic. My energy is aligned now. It's a thing like I knew something was off, like even, connecting with the mother, connecting with my spirit, connecting with all of that. It was off. And I'm like, wait a minute. When we were talking last night, Monica, I always try to do a check, a cleanse. I do a clearing.
It's important
but my energy was just off, and I noticed it was like after that Schumann resonance stuff, because I was having very high frequencies yesterday, like high, and it was I was just feeling totally off.
Well, like I said, I'm not having those. A lot of people are experiencing that. I don't seem to be experiencing it for whatever reason. Maybe it's just I'm too grounded for it. I don't know.
And that's where I want to be. I want to get where you are. So I need your,
that's just, I mean, I don't know. I just think I don't react physically to a lot. I'm real sensitive, but like on the vibration level or the energetic level. But when it comes to my body, unless I get something, like I come over and you're, and I might go home and get a cold or flu or whatever, I don't really get sick, if you know what I mean, or I don't feel destabilized physically, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Now, this is to say if I walk into a room, but it's because I'm feeling it. I walk into a room and I go, something's not right in here. Okay. But
Yeah.
that's my intuition telling me that. So what
Yeah.
I was going to say is, besides what you did, which is powerful, love, keep your house energetically clean. Whether you just sweep it with Palo Santo, frankincense, sage, whatever. It's just a regular practice of, doing things like this. Like I say,
Yeah.
just like you
Yeah.
would change your drawers. Well, I'm assuming you change your drawers
Yes, I do. I take a shower. I gotta take a
every day.
shower and clean my, yeah, I do.
So,
So I'm
so
yeah, that part right there. I do gotta go get sage and all of that
yeah,
kind of
get some
and
or something like
crystals.
that. Palo Santo is, my teacher told me, Palo
Mhm.
Santo is better than sage. It's more
Okay, Palo
effective.
Santo. Okay.
Palo Santo,
Okay.
which looks like, let's see if I have
Yes.
it on hand. It's like a piece of wood. This is what it is. It's hard to burn.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's hard to burn. It just burns a little bit and the smoke just like drizzles out. But I just want to throw it on a fire and let it burn, because
Hmm.
it's wood from a
Yeah.
tree. But
It
You
smells
do you
wonderful.
do
it
you have
does.
that you have that at your house, Monica? I
I
He's
mean,
don't
holding
grow
it
it at
up.
my house, but I purchase it.
okay. So I was hoping you had a tree over there.
No, I don't have a tree, but maybe we can grow one.
Yeah, let's do it.
There you go.
Thank you
Oh,
so
you have a,
much, Althea. I appreciate that. I
yeah,
love you.
just
I
do
love you,
things
love you,
like
love
that.
you.
And once a
Mhm,
week, like I
mhm.
tell everybody, you should take a salt bath, you
Yes,
know,
And how do you
with
yes,
do that?
sea salt.
yeah.
You pour, half a pound of sea, if you have a bathtub, in your bathtub, and you can put whatever else in there you want. And people do all kind of things. Some people throw roses in there, because you're purifying, you're cleansing, and you're getting off the negative energy. So you sit in there, you soak for a minute, and then you take in the salt, sea salt or Himalayan salt, not white iodized salt, not that. And you put it in. You could put essential oils in there, whatever you would like, or some herbs. You can put them in a mesh bag or something like that, and let them, because herbs have magical healing properties as well. There's all kind of things you can do it, but if you don't have any of that, just put the salt in there, wash yourself, and you know that you're washing everything, and you're washing away all of those potential negative vibrations.
It's all like you said. We're all in here and within. It's all I called in. Let me tell you, I was calling in everybody. I called in the armies. I called in. I called in Archangel Michael.
There you go.
I called in Source Light Mother, and I had her shower me. I had my whole team, my whole posse. I had them all of them
And
coming in here.
affirm, there is no
Yeah,
power in fear. There is
exactly.
only power in God,
There's
the
no
one
power in
God.
fear.
Bingo.
Only
Yes.
power in God.
Yeah,
Most
that's what
High. Yes.
because
Mm.
that power over, part of the thing is, we've given, Christians in particular have given as much power to the devil, if you
Yeah.
will. I'm just putting
Yeah.
that in quotes,
Yeah.
or Satan, or whatever they want to call it. They gave as much power to him as they give to God. Well, if God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and omniactive, then what is this mess?
Yeah.
Then you're saying, if this devil has the power to do something, then what's the purpose of doing obeisance to God? That's
Exactly.
my understanding of it. Because, and people like to say, well, he's letting them test them. For what? God doesn't need you to prove anything to it.
Bingo.
So I don't,
Say that again, please. Say that for the people in the back. Say that
well, God
again.
doesn't need us to prove anything. You wouldn't even be here if God wasn't unconditional love. God just wanted to express love, and expressed it as you. And that, if something is unconditional, means there are no conditions. You don't have to do anything to be loved. That's the mistake. That's what religion tells us. If you don't do this, do 15 Hail Marys, you're going to hell when you
Yep.
die. If you, do that, the Jehovah's Witnesses will tell you, if you go sleep with somebody, you're going to get disfellowshipped.
Or you don't turn in
God
you
doesn't
don't have
like
your
you.
hours turned in at the end of the month.
Right.
Well, any of it, like I said, I'm so grateful. I was a Bible student, but I never became a Jehovah's Witness. So I went far enough, and I said, this isn't it either. Because I've been all my life trying to find out, the God messages were contradictory that they were giving me. I didn't get it. My daddy was trying to be a Catholic. They wouldn't let him be a Catholic because he had been married before and his first wife was still living. So he became an Episcopalian, which is close, similar, or what they call the Anglican Church in England. My mother was a Southern Baptist. So I grew up going with them to church and
Yeah.
asking questions they could not answer. And I
Yeah.
remember when I was about 11, 12, I was sitting in the church because most of the time I went to the Baptist church with my mother. And I remember thinking, looking at the minister, and he may be a nice man, but how do I know he knows anything? I mean, I had this as a child, I had this idea. And I'm like, and it's somewhere I got the idea, I don't trust anybody to speak for God because how do I know they know enough?
Yeah.
I mean, that was my thought.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so this isn't it. So then I went on through all the other religions that you can go through, all the meditation paths you can go through, all these things, which is why I don't like to necessarily call myself these labels because they're just stops along the way. Or as my friend, one of my besties said, I think you're just trying to remember what you already know. Because I
Mm.
went to Islam and Sufism. I went to
Mm.
Hinduism. I was a devotee of a guru and kissed her feet. I
Mm.
went to the one that holds me together the most is what I learned through New Thought, Science of Mind.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's distraction now. But I want to say that if you keep up with that, if you do that salt bath once a week, keep your aura, make sure it's with you every day, align your chakras, very also important. You receive energy and information through the chakras. You know about the 7 chakras. There are more of them, but
Yes.
we know the basic 7.
Yeah.
And
So
I think
how do you keep your aura like what do you say again? You just
you can
aura
say
up?
anything. One
Oh,
of
okay.
the channelers I like, she says aura up. And I
I
just
like
like
that.
that. So I took it
So
aura up. And
aura
that means
up.
I like
symbol
that.
for your aura to
Aura
get itself
Yeah.
so that you
Aura
don't have,
up,
at some
queen.
point, you're going to be doing this in your head like, okay, it's got to be this from my side and from my front and my back.
Back,
Okay, is
right.
everything there? You're going to do that initially, but at
Yeah.
some point, you'll just be able to say aura and it'll just come into place because that is the way that you have.
And you could see it. Do you do like any qigong or anything like that to keep your energy flowing? Do you have to do any of that?
I don't have to do it. I like
Okay.
it. I
Okay.
learned Tai Chi a long
Okay.
time ago. I'm trying to do Qigong now, but I have a little crazy arm here.
Okay.
So I can't
Okay.
always do, and the body doesn't always want to stretch because I don't do everything. But
I was going to
but
say that I do.
that
I love Dr. Michael Beckwith. I follow
helps.
him as well.
He's my
Yes,
teacher,
I
and
know.
he is,
Yeah,
oh my goodness. And his former wife, Ricky Byers, she teaches through music.
yeah,
He was, they were married. I don't know how long they were married, but they're not now. But she has her own. Now, if you go to her channel, she does her Sunday devotionals where she plays music and they sing all her songs. And I just happen to be in love with all her songs.
Ricky
So
Byers.
Ricky Byers,
Okay,
Rickie, last
okay,
name Byars.
okay.
You'll find her
BYA.
there. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if I think that's the name of her channel, but oh, her music is fantastic because it's very, while I love my gospel music, her music is very uplifting in the ways we're talking now,
Yes,
like
that's what
high
I'm talking about.
vibe, like,
Yes.
speaking of God in a different way when you speak about all those things. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of helpful things out there and a lot of helpful people. And there's an expression somebody says, we're all just walking each other home. And I really love it because that's like what we got going here right now with the people you have here on your channel and your chat and with
So,
everybody's lending energy to the
yes.
experience in order
Yes.
that we might all be learning and elevating and
Yes.
growing and
Yes.
rising in consciousness. That's for
Yeah.
me my mission. Me personally, what I try to do on my channel, I just happen to pull tarot cards because people like to look at the cards and do all of that, but my goal is to inspire people to do whatever it takes to get to know the God in them, to lift their vibration, to walk into the world that you want to have rather than the one that's out there distracting you. Because if we don't ever change what we're looking at, if we don't ever start calling into our world and our reality what it is we want, we're going to just keep reinforcing what we already got. And we know that's rotten.
Okay.
To
Now
the
you said
So,
core.
one more question. I'm gonna let y'all. I'll
yeah,
get
and then
off of
I'm
me. Yeah.
okay.
You said something about the Galactics. So
Mhm.
are they doing something as well at night, or what are they doing?
I don't know what they're doing. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I don't know. You know, there's so, like I say, you get lost in the world. That's why it's so important to ask. You know, we all want to learn. There's so much interesting stuff that we haven't known, right? Because of the traditional teachings, and there's so much stuff out there. But just walk slow. Ask the God in you to show me what is it I know or can know or learn about. For example, other kinds of life that has
Okay.
been created from you, like
Okay.
like part of me knowing that I have Cherokee heritage, you know, Cherokee Indian, is the Cherokee people believe they are descended from the Pleiades, the seven
Yes.
sisters. Okay. So I always immediately identified with that as must be part of my galactic heritage, you know, because that's what they think. But there's so many aspects of life. And just like human beings, some are good and some are crappy,
Yeah.
you know. Some
Yeah.
have, you know, want to be a help and assistance if you ask them. Some want to F you up, you
Yep.
know.
Oh no,
So
I thought when you had said something earlier about the Galactics, I was wondering if
just
they.
that they're not coming to save you.
Oh, they're not
Mm-mm.
going to come to say. Oh no, but
Mm-mm.
yeah, I actually, yeah, I've studied a lot about them, so I pretty much. But I just wanted to make to know, it's just about knowing the knowing, and like you said, just going within and just seeking the answers. We'll get it.
Yeah,
We'll
that's where
get
you
the
start.
answers.
It's not that you can't learn things from teachers or books or things, but you do have to learn discernment so that
Exactly,
just
exactly.
because somebody said it, because I used to be in my early years. See, I've been at this since the 80s.
Oh, see, that's
When
why
I
you're
went to,
so grounded. Yeah.
yeah, and even that was like right after I stopped studying with Jehovah's Witness. When I went to school, you know, when I went back to school, it took me on a new path. I had been introduced. The first time I went into a unity church, I went with my friend. She says, let's go to Unity, and that's one of the new thought
I did.
religions.
I went to that too.
The
Yeah.
minister, first of all, was a woman. I had never seen that, a woman minister. And she said, okay, let us pray. And then she said, Father, Mother, God. And my eyes bucked open like this because I'm like, Mother? What? You know, it freaked me out, you know, because
Exactly.
that's not how we were trained, right? Mind you,
Exactly.
I'm coming out of traditional organized religion. Jehovah
Hmm.
Witnesses was the last stop on that train,
Yeah.
you know. So that was a new awakening for me and a new experience of wow. And I started to understand and learn all about unity. Unity is very like Jesus centered.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but I
Beautiful.
I wanted to move beyond that, so I went to science of mind, and that's
Yeah.
really where I found
That
most of
worked for
my
you.
teachings. Yes, even though I still did other things after that. So, and that's what Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith is from that tradition, also
And back
science of mind.
and Beckwith, yeah, but Beckwith is also into Christ consciousness. He talks about Jesus all the time now. He calls him Jesus ben Joseph, right? Which
Yeah, Yahshua ben Joseph. But
Joshua
I
ben
mean,
Joseph, yeah.
his
Mhm.
teachings, what he teaches through agape, come from science of mind.
Yep.
Come out of that tradition, not unity, but
Yep.
science of mind,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
was founded by Ernest Holmes in
You have been
1927.
you have been awesome. I'm so glad that you've answered all my questions, and I hope you
I'm
come
so
back
glad.
more because we need this in this community.
Absolutely.
Well,
We this whole
I'm
sisterhood thing, sister brotherhood, whatever it is. But
glad. I'm for that.
so many of us are awakening, and it's so many more coming in. Waking up,
Yes.
right?
And many more to come.
And
And
many
this is what I
more.
told Monica when we had a conversation one day. Because I realized, you know, I don't always catch her live, so I'm watching them after the fact. And you better start reading your comments, looking for comments on your videos. I be commenting on our videos, and it was like, well, she didn't see that. But anyway, I was telling her I believe, because I recognize from her hearing people in her chat say, yeah, I'm an ex-Jehovah Witness. Yeah, all of that. She is a light. And now you're here with her. You are lights
Yeah.
to help shine the light of truth into
Yeah.
the darkness that those cults are.
Yeah.
To bring people out of them, not because you want to make those things bad, but
No.
because you know that they are stripping people of their power. They're feeding a system which does not have their best interest in mind.
Yeah.
So you are like radiant lights out there
Yeah.
teaching and by illustration. I think I watched the video. You had a video last night. I saw it this morning. And I
Mhm.
think I remember you saying, reading something about 5D. I'm like, look at these Jehovah Witness, ex-Jehovah Witness, up here talking about fifth dimension.
I know, right? Right.
We've come a long way, baby.
A long way. When I didn't know it, because I don't even know how I came upon Monica's channel, and then I heard her talking about Jehovah Witness, I was like, because my like I say, I have two best friends, and one of them is an ex Jehovah Witness of 25 years or however long she was, and I hope she comes on this channel and talks to you about it,
Yes.
because she's like a light in the darkness
Yes.
too.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I was like, I don't know how I stumbled upon this. But then she started talking about the Anunnaki, and I was like, who this woman, Harpo? Because I wasn't expecting, it's one thing to leave the religion, it's another thing to be talking about spaceships and crystals and
Right. Right. So this is it's a learning. We're learning, how to go about this whole thing.
Yeah. And you guys are amazing. I think you're amazing, because that's exactly what you're doing. And the way your specific lens is going to light the way for those people who are not, they know something's wrong, but they don't know what it is with where they are, especially in Jehovah Witness or any other kind of cultish type religion. They can
Yes.
see you, and they can, you will be as a light to them, not
Yes.
to follow me as
No.
such,
No.
but
Yeah.
to inspire them
Mm-hmm.
into seeing that there's another way, and a way that's, what did Yeshua ben Joseph say?
Mm-hmm.
That which I do, you can do, and greater things than these, if you have faith.
Okay. Wait a minute.
So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, one thing the Jehovah Witness did when I was a Bible student, I learned that
Yeah.
Bible.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
scriptures still come. I'll be pulling tarot cards now, and it'll be like I'll be giving examples saying, well, bad associations spoil useful habits with this card. I mean, because I learned those scriptures a lot as a Bible student. So, yeah, that was one good thing, but that was it. I didn't go into it. So, anyway, that's about it, unless anybody has a question. I just
Yeah.
appreciate you inviting me. And I didn't realize I was going to talk so much. I don't know why I got Gemini rising. And
We want you to talk.
that's a communicative. I remember I had a friend back in the college days. She was a Gemini, and she talked all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. She never stopped talking. And I remember saying one day, "Oh my God, do you ever stop
I'm talking on
talking?"
a computer. Okay.
So, and here I am today.
I'll come out.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, you
Althea.
have. Yes, I'm just totally, 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 totally grateful.
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
Totally
gonna put my
grateful.
hair up like you.
Althea, do
I
you do
love her.
like private
Thank you.
readings or anything like that?
I'm going to get back to it. I did. I sort of shut that part of my website down for a while because I was trying to sort myself out. And now, as I'm doing this other new channel, I don't know if you know, Monica, I have another second YouTube channel that I'm just starting, which is going to
And
focus
share
on
that with
love.
us.
And I'll be doing readings, quote unquote, for that channel. But I mean, I'll be doing them for people, because it's all about being in alignment with that divine in you, which is where everything comes from. Once you're there, you get the best love, you get the best everything. So it's about getting there. So that's kind of what that channel is to focus on. Soul Whisper is more broad in just how do you elevate your consciousness. how do you move into an understanding of, truth.
Yeah.
And
Would
I
you
can do
say
either.
the divine in you? It's called.
My new channel,
Yeah.
Yes.
This High Love.
This high love.
Yes, This
Okay.
High Love, the new channel. Only have a few handful of people on that one.
Well,
Soul
I'm gonna
Whisperer
Awesome.
is
come
my
on.
regular one. Hmm.
Okay. This high. I'm coming on. Let me see. This high
My
love.
friend, if she's still here, Lady Virgo, her channel is Divine Destiny 13.
Lady Virgo, Divine
She's
Destiny.
an astrologer.
Okay.
And she does give readings pretty regularly about different things, but talking about the astrological aspects. And what I love about her is that she uses herself as examples a lot when she's
Mm-hmm.
talking about these things. And she talks
Mm-hmm.
about the Schumann resonance. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a recent video she did. If you're still here, Lady Virgo, would you put the name of that video in the chat? Because that was a really good video. She talked a lot about it, put the Schumann resonance thing up there and everything, and talked about it. I just like how she does things. So
Yeah, that would be awesome, Lady Virgo, if you could put that in there too. And
yeah, I mean,
everybody that's here in
she's
the chat
outside with her
room,
animals,
please.
so I don't know. Huh?
Uh-oh. I pressed the wrong button. Hold on, y'all.
Monica.
Don't talk about me. I'm doing better.
No, you remind me of my friend Cherry. She'd be hitting all kind of buttons, when she comes on here. You'd be like the three blind mice, the blind leading the blind, because
For
I do have
everyone that's in the chat, please go over to the Soul Whisperer and comment, like, and subscribe to her channel. The same thing with Lady Virgo as well. Hoping to have
her
her
channel
on
is called
soon
Divine
after she
Destiny
finished feeding
13.
her critters.
Yeah, I think she's outside feeding the critters. She said she was. So, oh yeah, I think she's still here. So, Lady Virgo, can you write down the name of that recent video that you did on your channel that talked about the Schumann resonance? It was something about maybe 2 or 3 videos back. And I remember thinking, girlfriend really knows this stuff, and she talks about it on her Telegram group. She has an open Telegram group. So you could probably, if you're on Telegram, you could probably join that group too.
Okay. Let me write that one down again too.
Sea Goddess. Oh, Crystalline Goddess and Sea Love. How long have you two been seeking? And what made you say, wait a minute, something ain't right here?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. That's a good question. I like to hear it myself.
Right. Well, we can do another.
Mine was since early on. I was a child sitting in the Kingdom Hall saying something wrong here. As a child, I knew something was wrong. I was like, I must be a goat in a whole congregation of sheep. But it turns out that I was the sheep in a whole congregation of goats, maybe.
Wow.
I think for me, it was
wrong.
Yeah. It took me through several scenarios. Like, I got married very young. Got a beat down through that whole being married young as a Jehovah's Witness. I got beat down.
How young were you when you got married?
18, just turning 19. Yeah,
just a baby.
Yeah,
and
just a baby.
The family, I connected with a bunch of karmic. I mean, I had issues on my personal side, and then I go into a very karmic, low level energy family. You know what I mean? So, and I'm thinking I'm going with something good because I was looking for love. That's why my name is Sea Love, because I always looking for love.
It's funny that my best friend, her name is Jasmine Love, J Love.
Yeah, J Love. Yep. And so, but I got that when I started looking at pharmaceutical industry crap and how they were duping us with all that freaking medication. And so it was medication. I mean, so it's pharma, it was religion, because I wasn't feeling how those daggone what they call the governing body. I'm like, why I gotta what? And then I gotta tell some other men some stuff. What is this?
You takes Cherry to talk about going before the brothers. Oh my God, she been before the brothers at least a couple times. Maybe I get you ladies to come on my channel now that
okay.
I would love here. And you can talk about how you move, because I did an interview with Cherry about that, leaving Jehovah Witness, and I something like from Jehovah to Jupiter, some name I gave it. Supposed to represent being, in, how did you go from that kind of religion to this idea of high vibe spirituality?
It's
So maybe you guys could
the
share your
freedom.
story
Definitely.
about that.
Yeah. I definitely would love that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so
and it's so weird
much,
because we've been taught since early on, you don't go outside of the organization for any information, and especially when JW.org came on board, you don't research anything on the internet. You go to jw.org because you're going to fall into apostate material and it's going to take you away from Jehovah. So don't do that. Go to
and we all
jw.org where
believe
the
that.
brothers have lovingly provided all this information. Just type it in there. And I did that for a long time and could not get the answers that I needed, or
Mm-hmm.
that satisfied me. So I remember sitting at my computer, shaking like a leaf because I was going to go outside of jw.org to look for information. And that indoctrination was so
Blasphemer.
deep, I was scared to death. Jehovah was going to
Yes.
strike me down by the
Smite
keystrokes
you on the scene.
for
Yep.
researching. And
That's
then
how
when
much
the
they have
information
terrified
started
us.
coming, and when the information started coming up that I had never heard of, I was angry and hurt and disillusioned and like, ah! But at the same time, it was like a confirmation in my gut. I knew it. But then at the same time, it was like the only little sliver of thing I had was this organization. And what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? And when that rug was pulled from underneath me, I had nothing. The little bit of foundation I had was gone, absolutely gone. And it was a really, really scary. So I totally understand when people when they wake up and there's nothing there, it's very scary. It's like your world has ended.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'm
Yeah.
only grateful that I didn't become a Jehovah Witness. I went as
Yeah.
far, but I recognize at the end of the day, no, still not enough satisfaction here for me of understanding, of being satisfied that this was it. But for about 2 or 3 years, I read every book, I embraced everything. I went out that door to door once with Cherry. I was like, this is not gonna work for me. I can't do
Good
that.
for you. Good
I
for you.
can't have people close. That's just me. That's my
No,
particular.
thyself, honey. You knew yourself. That's great.
Ooh.
No, but it takes her to tell, she wanted they went to read some book or something that somebody wrote. They were forbidden to read it as Jehovah Witness.
Ray
They
France,
would
Crisis of Conscience.
they were
Yeah.
going somewhere down south to meet this guy and talk to him, whoever he was. Yeah. And she said, no, 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 no. That's it. I've had enough. You cannot tell me what I can read, you know. And
Okay.
but anyway, we're just so thank you, ladies. You're so beautiful, both of you. And
Oh,
I
you are
appreciate
too.
I
You are.
appreciate your warm invitation and your welcoming energy to me, because I'm very, like I say, that's it. I'm very tuned into energy.
Yeah.
So I'm so proud of you, Sea Love, even though I don't know you, for how
Thank
you took
you.
care of yourself and handled that mess,
And
so
that
to
was
speak.
something that I learned. I'm so grateful for learning it. That we as light workers and light warriors,
Hmm.
we have to take responsibility for our own clearings to show. Look, we not no punks out here. We not a punk. We not. You know what I mean? We
Hmm.
got to step into our power. Take your power. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Stand in your power and and just you know what I'm saying. So that's how I had to, like, I found myself have to really just being that, where we're usually, I think people look at workers as, little, sweet, lovable,
No,
this, that, you know what I'm
we
saying?
are what I kind of call it. We are spiritual
Warriors.
love warriors. We're
Yeah.
gonna love you.
Oh, Divine Destiny says, I don't know how to link. Telegram the link to me and I'll put it in here. I'll put it in the chat before they close, or I'll give it to somehow I'll get it to Monica. Yeah, I'll put it in the private chat, and then Monica can copy it from the private chat into the
Mhm.
comments for you guys. So
Okay.
telegram it to me. Look how we do. I got to go this way. She doesn't know how to put the link in.
Okay, well, see, love, you better pay attention because you know I'm gonna mess it up.
Okay. Okay. So I need to take who's what and do what.
So Lady Virgo, Divine Destiny 13 is going to send me a link
Okay.
or a name. Okay,
Okay.
wait. She's just done it. So let me copy the link. The name of the video is the name of the video is Current Energies / Ascension / Integration. But I'm going to send the link in the private chat. You see the private chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to paste it in there because I don't think I can. And then you can copy that and put it, because you're a moderator or whatever, you can put it into the comments for
Okay.
people. But first of all, it has to paste in. Oh, she said she's going to do an updated video today because we've been getting
Awesome.
blasted.
Okay.
So yeah, so go over to Divine Destiny 13. I mean, because like I say, she understands this ascension stuff, the Schumann resonance. I can't claim to have. So there's the link. Can you see it?
You put it in the comments just now?
Private chat.
Oh, private chat. Okay, let me look here.
It's right next to where it says comments.
Oh, mine's is just not. I must be in on the other side, on the other.
Monica, it's
Hang
up
on,
to
let's
you,
see. There we
Monica.
go. There, I see
Okay.
it. I see
You
the
see
private
it? Okay,
chat. Hang on.
copy the link, and then you can paste it in the comments. Oh, this is all we going around, going sideways to go forward.
We getting there. We getting there.
Yeah. So
Did I do it? No, I didn't do it.
thank
Wait a
you
minute.
all. I'm just thinking. I know it's not my channel here, but I just want to thank everybody who came in and listened and sent lovely
Yes.
energy just by being
Yes.
here, by their présence, as they say
Yes.
in French.
Mhm.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm
Yes.
Yes,
so
yes,
grateful. I'm so
yes.
Yes.
Thank
grateful for
you.
the love vibration.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be reaching out directly to a couple of folks in here, Lady Virgo, and others who might want to pop
Lady
back on
Virgo's
again.
channel is Divine Destiny 13. So she doesn't
Divine
have the
Divine
Destiny.
channel.
Destiny 13.
Yeah. So that's how you find her.
Okay.
And
Just okay.
that's the only one I know with the channel. But I like to support people, you know.
We should. Yeah, we
I
should.
believe
We
we
have to
should. I
support
believe
each
we
other.
Yeah.
exactly, because you
We're
know what
supporting each
one of the
other.
things
We're
that they
here.
do out there is they make us all think, oh, my Monica can steal my good. I can't let her get any of my subscribers over
Yeah.
here
Um,
because she might get more subscribers than me. I mean, I've seen
we
people on YouTube like that. I said,
we
don't
on
make
we on
it's
we on some
ridiculous.
high vibrational stuff over
Yeah,
here. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's very low level over
that's very low
there.
level. But you'd be surprised at the spiritual folks who have that attitude. But I'm not going to
Wow.
say any more about that. So
Yeah.
thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. I didn't know
Oh,
I'd be
thank
here
you.
quite this long. Now I got to go out and go to the store and do some
Awesome.
errands.
Thank you
Yeah.
again
Well,
for joining us.
we
And
could we
everyone
could
in
we
the
could
chat,
talk to you
thank
all
you
day
so
long
much.
out there.
I could talk to you guys all day long too,
Yeah,
but like
we
I
could.
said on my recent live, whatever I did it a day or two ago, I am so conscious of people's times. I
Yeah.
never want to take people's support and coming to see my videos for granted.
Yeah.
And then I gave a story about a reader I used to watch, a tarot reader. And she just got up in the middle of it and said, I got to go to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom, was gone about 5 minutes, came back, started talking to a mom and a daddy about, did you all get to grow, a whole conversation. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I said,
Hello.
you must not know
We're having
about
a
me.
podcast.
You must not know about me because I'm not going to sit here while you waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but that's me that's when I do my little,
Okay.
bone
And
grownish
and
play.
Althea, I want to give you a formal invitation. Once we get the retreat up and running, we will have a cabin ready for you, my lady, to come and
Yeah.
get your regenerator, so you can get there and go connect in the
With the
forest.
land. I would love that. I have now, you're the second person I know that has some land, and you're not far from her. Essie Grace, she's in Missouri.
Really,
She's
Essie
in
Grace?
Missouri.
Okay, girl.
No, SC Grace is not in Missouri.
Oh,
No, I
we
was
thought
telling her that you're in Missouri. Where are you, C Love?
I am in Tulsa right now, but I'm about to head over to Missouri with over there with C.
Oh,
Yes.
Oklahoma with.
Yes, yes. So we
Oh,
the two amigos going
She's part of the core tribe.
yeah, the amigos over there. Come join us.
Uhuru X says, "Live long and prosper all us queens." Can I get an amen?
Woo, woo,
Amen.
Amen.
woo,
Let the
woo.
church say amen.
Hey.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna
guys.
stop because I'm gonna just keep winding it up. So let me
On
get.
and on and
I'm
on
gonna
and on and
leave.
on. Okay. All right. Thank you again,
See ya.
everyone, for joining us. And as always, we got to keep our vibrations what?
Come on,
Keep our
y'all.
vibrations.
Hi.
Until next time, guys. I'll see you later.
All right.
Essie's telling you, goddess, that she's in Arkansas.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great. That's not far.
Okay.
Indeed.
Bye.
All
All
right.
right. See ya.
Thank you, guys.